The sky above the alien palace shimmered with shades of violet and gold, the twin suns casting long, strange shadows across the smooth, glowing towers. The palace was usually quiet at this hour, with only the soft hum of energy fields filling the air, but today, a sudden vibration shook the ground, small at first, then growing stronger. From the edge of the horizon, a sleek spaceship appeared, its silver body reflecting the light of the suns. It moved with precision, descending toward the grand landing platform of the palace. The guards at the gates raised their weapons in alarm, but the ship showed no signs of hostility, only a strange, almost gentle hum. Inside the throne room, the alien queen sat upon her tall, crystal-like throne, her eyes narrowing as she felt the vibrations. Something was different, something she could not yet name. She had ruled this planet for centuries, and she had seen ships arrive and depart many times, but this arrival, it was unlike any other. "Prepare the welcoming crew," the queen commanded softly, her voice calm but carrying a hint of unease. "I wish to see who comes to my palace unannounced." Her advisors and guards moved quickly, whispering among themselves, wondering who could dare arrive without warning. The spaceship's landing ramp extended with a hiss, touching the platform with delicate precision. From the ramp, a figure stepped down, tall and graceful, her skin shimmering faintly in the alien light. It was the queen's daughter, the one who had left long ago to explore distant planets and, eventually, Earth. Behind her was a man, entirely human, dressed in simple clothes yet carrying himself with quiet confidence. He looked around curiously, clearly amazed by the alien architecture. His eyes were full of wonder but also careful respect, showing he understood the danger of being so close to the queen. Then, two small children emerged, holding each other's hands. Their faces carried a strange mix of human and alien features, large eyes, delicate ears, and hair that shimmered faintly. The queen froze, her breath catching in her chest. Could these really be her grandchildren? She whispered to herself, fear and hope twisting inside her. The palace guards watched silently, unsure how to react. The queen stood slowly, her regal presence commanding attention as she moved toward the family. Every step felt heavy, as if the ground itself was aware of the moment's importance. The daughter bowed deeply, a mixture of respect and longing in her eyes. "Mother," she said softly, "I have returned, and I bring my family." The queen's mind raced, memories of the daughter as a small child, of long conversations and laughter, flashed before her eyes. She wanted to rush forward and embrace them, but caution held her back. The human husband stepped closer, lowering his head slightly. "Your Majesty," he said politely, "I mean no harm. I only wish to meet your family and live peacefully." The queen studied him carefully, noticing the courage in his eyes, the calm honesty in his expression. It was unusual for humans to show such poise in front of aliens of her stature. The children peered around curiously, their small hands clutching each other. They seemed aware of their grandmother's importance, yet they were not afraid. Their innocent presence made the palace feel both strange and warm at the same time. Then, a subtle glow emerged from the children, a faint shimmer that flickered like sunlight on water. The queen's eyes widened, surprise and concern mixing together. There was something unusual about them, something beyond ordinary, and she could not ignore it. She took a slow breath, her heart pounding. "Could these really be my grandchildren?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. The daughter nodded slightly, a hopeful smile on her face, but the queen could not fully believe it yet. Something inside told her this was only the beginning. The spaceship behind them emitted a soft hum, almost like it was waiting for her answer. The palace seemed to hold its breath, every light and shadow still, as if the universe itself was watching this reunion. The queen looked at her daughter, the human, and the children, and realized that everything she had known was about to change. The palace halls were silent except for the soft footsteps of the guards. Their eyes followed the alien queen as she walked slowly toward her daughter and the human family. Each step felt heavy, as if the weight of centuries rested upon her shoulders. She could feel a mixture of hope and fear twisting inside her. The daughter bowed once more, then straightened. "Mother, I have returned with my husband and our children," she said, her voice calm but carrying a quiet emotion. The human husband stepped forward, bowing politely. "Your Majesty, I wish to honor your family and learn from your wisdom." The queen studied him closely, trying to read his intentions. The children stood behind their parents, holding each other's hands tightly. Their large eyes seemed to watch everything with curiosity and caution. sometimes they glanced at their grandmother, sometimes at the palace guards. Their expressions were a mix of innocence and intelligence, as if they understood more than they should. The queen walked slowly around the children, examining them carefully. She noticed their features. Some were human, some were alien, just like their mother. They carried a unique combination of both worlds. She knelt slightly, reaching toward them. "Who are you truly?" she whispered, her voice trembling. The daughter stepped closer, placing a hand gently on her mother's arm. "Mother, they are your grandchildren," she said softly. "I know it may be hard to believe, but it is true." The queen hesitated, her eyes filling with tears. She wanted to trust her daughter, yet a voice inside her whispered caution. Could this be a trick? She wondered. The human husband spoke again, his voice calm and honest. "Your Majesty, I swear on my life, I mean no harm." The queen studied him carefully, noticing the courage and sincerity in his eyes. It was rare for humans to show such respect and calmness in front of alien royalty, and it made her heart waver between doubt and hope. Meanwhile, the children began to explore the palace, their small hands touching the glowing walls. Their eyes lit up with wonder as they noticed the moving lights and strange symbols etched into the floors. One of the children reached out and touched a crystal pillar, and for a moment, it glowed brighter, surprising everyone. The queen gasped, stepping back. "How?" she whispered. Her mind raced as she tried to understand the abilities of her grandchildren. Could it be that their hybrid nature gave them powers beyond ordinary humans? She thought. The daughter watched nervously, sensing her mother's confusion and fear. The queen straightened, turning to her advisors. "Prepare a full examination of the children and the ship," she commanded, her voice steady. "I need to know if this is truly my family or something else entirely." The advisors nodded, exchanging uneasy glances. They had never seen the queen show such uncertainty. Secretly, the queen sent a trusted guard to inspect the spaceship. Its sleek surface and quiet hum suggested it was harmless, but the queen could not ignore the possibility of hidden dangers. The guard entered the ship carefully, scanning for anomalies, and then froze as a faint glow emerged from a small, hidden compartment. Back in the hall, the queen studied her grandchildren again. Their innocent faces held a strange sense of awareness, as if they could sense the questions and doubts in her mind. The human husband stood silently beside his children, his hands folded calmly, showing no fear. The queen took a deep breath, trying to calm herself. "I want to believe," she whispered, "but something feels unusual." The daughter smiled gently, reaching out. "Mother, we are here to be part of your world, and we mean no harm." The queen nodded slowly, her mind still full of doubt. And in the shadows of the palace, the guard who had entered the ship discovered a strange alien device, its surface pulsing with soft light. It was unlike anything the queen had seen before. Its presence hinted at secrets that could change everything she thought she knew. The queen's eyes widened as she sensed the weight of what was coming. This reunion was only the beginning, and the mysteries surrounding her daughter's human family were far from over. The glow from the alien device pulsed softly in the corner of the palace, casting strange shadows across the walls. The queen's eyes never left it, her curiosity mixed with unease. She had seen many technologies, but this one felt alive, as if it was waiting for her. The daughter stepped forward, her voice calm but filled with emotion. "Mother, I need to explain everything," she said gently. "I left to explore other planets, and I went to Earth, where I met him." She nodded toward her human husband. "We fell in love, and I could not leave him, or our children." The queen listened silently, her heart heavy with conflicting emotions. Anger, fear, hope, and longing all swirled inside her. How could her daughter return with a human family after so many years? She wondered. The palace, usually a place of order and calm, now felt strange and uncertain. The children stood close to their parents, glancing at their grandmother nervously, their hands held tightly together, as if sensing the tension. Suddenly, one of them reached out toward the glowing device, and it reacted, its light brightening and sending soft ripples through the room. The queen gasped, stepping back. "What is that?" she whispered, her mind racing. Could this device be dangerous? Or is it connected to them? The daughter shook her head. "Mother, it is a warning device. It was left for me and my family. It wants to protect us." The human husband stepped forward cautiously. "It seems to respond to them," he said, his eyes fixed on the children. Maybe their hybrid nature activates it. The queen's eyes narrowed, realizing the significance. These children were not ordinary humans or ordinary aliens. They carried something powerful inside them. Suddenly, the device projected a holographic message, the soft light forming words in the alien language, which the queen could understand clearly. The human line is in danger, protect them, the message said, repeating slowly. The queen felt a chill run down her spine. The warning was clear, and it meant her daughter and grandchildren were at risk. She turned to her daughter, her voice trembling. Why did you bring them here, knowing they might be in danger? The daughter looked her in the eyes. Mother, I had no choice. They are part of your family too, and they belong here, she said firmly. I trust you to protect us. The queen's advisors exchanged worried glances. The palace had never faced a threat like this, and now it involved not just the queen, but her daughter and human grandchildren. The stakes were higher than ever, and the queen felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders. The children moved closer to the device, their small hands hovering over it, and it pulsed brightly, responding to their presence. The queen watched in awe, realizing the truth. These children were special. Their hybrid nature could be a gift, but also a target. The daughter stepped closer to her mother. Mother, we need your help, and we need your protection, she said softly. There are forces out there that do not wish our union or our children to exist. The queen felt a mixture of fear and determination. This was no longer about reunion or doubt, it was about survival. The queen took a deep breath, her eyes meeting the human husband's, and then the children's. Very well, she said, her voice strong and commanding. If you are truly my family, I will protect you, no matter the cost. The daughter smiled faintly, relief flickering across her face. And in the shadows of the palace, the device continued to glow, its warning clear. Something was coming, something dangerous, and the queen knew that their story had only just begun. The alien world that had always been her kingdom now felt fragile, uncertain, and full of new mysteries waiting to unfold. The twin suns dipped lower behind the palace towers, casting long shadows that stretched across the landing platforms. The soft hum of the alien device in the corner of the hall seemed louder now, almost like a warning. The queen paced slowly, her mind racing. She could feel danger closing in, though she did not yet know its full shape. Outside, the palace sensors detected movement in the distant skies. A fleet of strange ships appeared, dark and sharp, gliding through space with deadly precision. The guards raised alarms, and the sound echoed across the silent halls. The queen's heart tightened, her centuries of experience telling her this was no ordinary arrival. Her daughter stepped forward, her eyes fixed on the approaching fleet. Mother, they are coming for us, she said softly, but with urgency. I think they know about the children and the device. The queen nodded, realizing the danger was closer than she imagined. The human husband knelt beside the children, explaining calmly, we must stay together, and we must use their abilities wisely. The children listened, their small faces serious, and one of them raised a trembling hand, causing the alien device to glow brighter, as if responding to the presence of danger. The queen's advisors gathered around, their faces pale. Your Majesty, the ships are armed, one whispered. They carry weapons unlike anything we have ever seen. The queen's eyes narrowed, determination and fear mixing together. She turned toward her daughter. We will not let them harm my family, she said firmly. Prepare the defenses. In the sky above, the alien fleet drew closer, their shapes becoming clearer. Sharp edges reflected the light of the suns. The palace shields hummed to life, energy fields flickering as they formed a protective barrier around the kingdom. The children's small hands hovered over the glowing device, and it pulsed faster, reacting to the tension in the air. Suddenly, one of the approaching ships split into smaller vessels, diving toward the palace with alarming speed. The guards fired their weapons, energy beams streaking across the sky, but the attackers moved too quickly, weaving through the defenses. The queen felt her pulse quicken, knowing this was only the beginning. Then, a familiar figure appeared among the attackers, silhouetted against the glowing suns. The queen froze, her eyes widening in disbelief. It cannot be, she whispered, her voice trembling. The daughter glanced up, her expression tense. Mother, do you know him? She asked softly, sensing the queen's shock. The figure descended closer, revealing features the queen recognized from a distant past, someone she had trusted long ago, but who had disappeared mysteriously. The palace guards tensed, unsure whether this person was friend or foe. The queen's instinct screamed caution, every memory of betrayal rushing back. The children's eyes glowed faintly, sensing the fear and tension around them. The human husband stepped forward, ready to defend them, yet careful not to provoke the mysterious figure. The queen lifted her hand, signaling the palace shields to focus energy at strategic points, her mind sharp and commanding. The alien device on the floor pulsed violently, projecting faint images of unknown planets and strange symbols, as if warning them of the coming battle. The queen understood clearly. This was not just an attack, it was a test of courage, loyalty, and strength. The safety of her daughter, her grandchildren, and her kingdom now depended on quick decisions. As the first wave of ships neared the palace, the queen took a deep breath, her gaze locking on the familiar figure. "We will protect our family, no matter what," she said firmly, determination lighting her eyes. The daughter nodded, the human husband ready, and the children standing close, their small hands glowing faintly. And in that moment, the palace held its breath. The calm before the storm was over. The battle for survival, trust, and family honor was about to begin, and nothing would be the same again. The skies above the palace burned with streaks of light as the attacking ships drew closer. The twin suns reflected off their dark hulls, giving them a menacing glow. The queen stood tall on the balcony, her eyes fixed on the familiar figure leading the fleet. Every memory of the past surged back: betrayal, trust, and lost time. Her daughter and the human husband stood beside her, the two children holding each other's hands tightly. Their small faces were serious, yet a quiet bravery shone in their eyes. The alien device glowed brighter than ever, sending waves of energy through the palace, warning, protecting, guiding. The queen lifted her hand, signaling the palace defenses to activate fully. Energy barriers flickered and formed around the walls, sending a soft hum through the halls. The attacking ships paused briefly, sensing the queen's power, and then the familiar figure descended alone, landing in the palace courtyard, calm and confident. The queen's heart raced. "It cannot be you," she whispered, her voice steady despite the storm in her chest. The figure raised a hand, revealing an insignia from their shared past. "I have returned," he said, his voice strong, "not to fight you, but to warn you." Confusion flickered across the queen's face, but she did not lower her defenses. Her daughter stepped forward. "Mother, we must listen," she said firmly. "He knows more about the threat than we do." The queen nodded slowly, keeping her eyes on the figure. The human husband placed a protective hand on the children, who looked at the figure with curiosity, not fear. The figure explained that a rogue alien faction had been tracking the children, seeking to capture them for their hybrid powers. They had learned about the device and wanted it to control both human and alien lines. The queen felt her stomach tighten, realizing the danger had been closer than anyone imagined. Without warning, smaller attack ships swooped in, trying to bypass the shields. The queen's guards fired energy beams, and the children instinctively raised their hands, causing the device to emit protective pulses. The energy waves pushed the attackers back, showing the unusual bond between the children and the device. The human husband worked quickly with the daughter, coordinating strategies with the palace defenses. Their combined skills of human ingenuity and alien knowledge turned the tide. Slowly, the attackers retreated, their leader watching but not advancing. As the battle ended, the palace lay quiet again, with only soft hums of energy filling the air. The queen finally stepped forward, her eyes meeting her daughter's, and then the children's. "You are truly my grandchildren," she said, her voice soft but strong. Tears welled in her eyes as she embraced them one by one, feeling the warmth of family that had been absent for so long. She turned to the human husband, nodding with respect. "And you are part of this family too," she said. The daughter smiled, relief and joy lighting her face. The children laughed softly, their innocent voices echoing through the palace halls. The alien device pulsed gently, as if acknowledging the queen's acceptance and the safety of the family. The familiar figure bowed. "Your family is safe, for now," he said, his eyes showing respect and understanding. Then he vanished into the shadows, leaving behind a small glowing artifact, a hint of future mysteries and adventures. The queen looked at her daughter, the human husband, and the children, realizing that her world had changed forever. Love, courage, and trust had survived across worlds. The palace, once calm and predictable, now held the energy of new beginnings, and the queen knew that this was only the start of a greater story. And as the twin suns set behind the towers, the alien device glowed softly, casting light on the smiling faces of a family reunited. Their story of survival, courage, and love had only just begun.